prefer to procrastinate and wait when they're given assignments. I mean, I did just make up that number, but I'm sure if I took time out of my day and actually went out and surveyed people, that'd be about the right thing. But like those fake 90% of people, I fail to take initiative in doing things. I found this picture a while ago about procrastinating some project of some sort, I'm sure. I really think it accurately represents the seemingly inescapable land kids my age face when they come home from school every day. It's kind of like Narnia, but nothing gets done and there's no talking lion. My favorite two on this would probably be the snack sector and the nap land, because those are probably the things that I spend most of my time on. I always try and find excuses to justify my lack of productivity, and my favorite one is probably, oh, I'm eating, I can't be doing anything else to distract me. So that's bad for two reasons, of course, because one, I'm procrastinating, two, I'm just mindlessly eating. Naps are another one of my favorite things. I just like to come home from school and, take 2 or 3 hour naps, but that's never a good idea because actually studies show that anything longer than 30 minutes is kind of just a waste of time. So why do we procrastinate? Like, what's behind it? I feel that social media is a big factor in it, and we love our social reputations, especially on Twitter and Facebook, and we love how the internet makes us feel. And sometimes we get put our social reputation above actual work. Instead of focusing in on our actual work, we like to check in on Facebook to see how many likes we have or how many followers we have on Twitter, but that won't help us later in life. There's no spot on college applications for how many friends you have on Facebook or followers on Twitter. And as I said, college employers really don't care about how many friends you have or retweets you get, so why are we so addicted and drawn into Facebook and Twitter? We need to log off and really focus in on what needs to get done. We love our televisions. We watch our favorite shows daily or weekly and tune in for the newest episode or even waste time watching reruns. We're slaves to the TV gods, the producers of the shows, who always come up with enticing plot lines or drama that we're drawn into. And with the advent of Netflix and everything, we can basically watch television anywhere. And you can watch it on your laptop lying in bed or on your smartphone while you use the bathroom. It's quite scary. We allow ourselves to get distracted anywhere by these TV shows, which is really frightful when you think about what actually needs to get done and how we're unable to divert our attention to get things done. I know that there's a theory of multitasking out there, I can do more than one thing at one time, but really it's proved ineffective. When you split your focus, you never focus in on what needs to get done. Your mind's always wandering back to the other tasks that you were working on rather than the current thing that you're working on. A character of a television show named Ron Swanson actually once said, "Never half-ass 2 things, whole-ass 1 thing." And I think those are actually kind of words to live by, because you don't want to split your focus between 2 things that you're just going to end up only having half effort behind. You really just want to focus on 1 thing. But the more real and actual reliable source of Clifford Nass of Stanford University has done studies on multitasking and the efficiency of multitasking, and he's concluded that multitaskers are terrible at every aspect of multitasking. You really can't split your focus, and you need to turn down the music or stop watching TV while you try and study. Okay, there's always a mentality of I can do it later. I know that's my favorite excuse. When I get a project, I'm just like, oh, I can do it later. But I never really define when that later is. So it's only when that later comes or when the project's actually due that I realize how little time I've actually given myself. I found out at the beginning of the school year that there are classes that I don't necessarily need to focus all that much in, that I can kind of slack off and do other work. So I got stuck in the really bad habit of cramming all my homework for the day in that 1.5 hour period. It's a really bad habit because homework is meant to be done at home because it's meant to reinforce the lesson that you've learned during class. So if you're trying to cram it in, you're losing the whole point of homework. So when you don't have any attention to the detail and effort that you're putting forth, you won't remember the material you learned in class. Also, if you wait too late, you kind of get hyped up on adrenaline and your body feels that you have to move at the speed of light in order to complete everything that needs to get done, whether like you're waiting the night before a project or a paper is due or 10 minutes before the teacher picks up the homework. People are they rely on this adrenaline in order to get their work done, and we shouldn't have to rely on something our body naturally does. We should be able to plan out things better so that we don't have to rely on such a unreliable motivation. Okay, so I think there are 4 very simple solutions to beating procrastination. Of course, I haven't really effectively done any of these because I still procrastinate a whole bunch, but I'd like to try them myself. So first off, a good way to think of things is to break it down. Instead of thinking of a project as one big project that needs to be done in one night, do it in different segments. Plan out how you're going to be doing things so that way that you don't have to wait until the night before to finish everything, that you just kind of gone along at your own pace. And then when you finish these small tasks, they kind of build up and they motivate you to keep doing more of the small tasks, and then you're just motivated to get it all done. Another solution would be to set deadlines for yourself. This makes yourself accountable for when things get finished, and you really can't let yourself be flexible in your timelines. You've got to really set yourself down and focus in and finish things when you set your deadlines. A reward system is always good, because then you can reward yourself for being successful in accomplishing something or finishing a job, but you need to be careful that when you reward yourself, you're not doing it for the wrong reasons. You're not rewarding yourself for the smallest of things, such as writing your name on your paper. They need to be for more substantial work. And the 4th one, you need to study in a school setting. I know that it's always nice to study and be reading your book and then text your friends or check Facebook, but that's really not how it's going to work. And when you're taking the test, and studies have proven that your mind remembers not only what you're studying, but how you study around it, and what's going on around, and how it affects you. So instead of necessarily remembering the date of the Proclamation of Independence, you're remembering the song that was playing in the background. Okay, and I think that if you follow those 4 things, that procrastination can be easily subdued, at least a decent bit. Okay, thank you for your time.